So I got a request to review a game based off of basketball legend Michael Jordan. But not just any game based off of Michael Jordan. It's called Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City. I just said Michael Jordan 3 times. You know, I actually missed this game growing up. But can you blame me? I'm not a basketball fan. Well, I really did like the NBA Jam series. The game was pretty fun, and entering all those codes to get those secret players made the game extra fun. Another basketball game that I really liked was Street Hoops on the Neo Geo. But back in the 90s, even if you weren't a basketball fan, you knew who Michael Jordan was. Considered by many to be the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan was easily one of the most visible athletes. Michael Jordan wasn't so visible in video games, however. Apparently there were some legal technicalities which prevented his likeness to be used in video games, cartoons, comics, and like. Either way, Michael Jordan transcended basketball, and if you were famous in the 90s, you got turned into something. This is the focus of today's review. So let's check out Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City. If you're expecting a basketball game, you're in for a surprise, as this is a single-player action-adventure game dealing with Michael Jordan. So, the story goes, Michael shows up to practice with his team for a charity game only to realize that his teammates are not there. A ball is then thrown with a note attached to it telling Michael Jordan to show up to an Egyptian room in a museum. Like, seriously? Anyway, a guard lets Michael in and he stumbles upon an underground prison and our story begins. The game has your cliche of enemies: bats, spiders, zombies with basketball heads. Your objective will be to navigate through the levels and reach the end of the stage. Some stages will have one of Michael's teammates trapped, and you'll see a sign flash that says "Captive here." You'll have to find the right key to open the right locks to save Michael's teammates. When you do, they'll give you some information regarding the story or give you clues to advance within the next stage. Y shoots, X uses a dunk attack, B is for jump, and A is the action button used for opening locks and pressing buttons. Your weapons are basketballs, which seems weird, but seeing as though this is a game based on a basketball player, it's in the context with the game. The L button toggles the different balls you get throughout the game, and they all have different properties. Balls that multiply, shoot fire, shoot ice, it's all there. So here's your world overview. Each stage is composed of 5 parts. On the last part, you'll always fight a boss at the end. These basketball nets vary in properties. You have to slam dunk and you'll get different power-ups. If you guys remember my Shaq Fu review where I pointed out the shameless plugins from Pepsi, this game is no exception. You have Gatorade and a box of Wheaties for health. Not to mention that Michael Jordan's Air Jordans make an appearance, and they work the same way that the star in Super Mario Bros. Does. I gotta say, when you do plugins like this, do you expect them to work in any way? I don't know. Keys are color based, so you use silver colored keys for silver locks, gold colored keys for gold locks, etc. Be careful though, sometimes there's an enemy behind that door. When you kill the spiders, they explode and turn into little spiders, but look how difficult it is to hit the little spiders. There's also portals that might appear and take you into mini games. They range from dunking to reaching towards the end of the line. I gotta say that the hit detection in this game is downright horrible. I can't even hit these eyeballs correctly. So you're probably wondering who Dr. Maximus Cranium is. Apparently, he tried to be a basketball player at some point in his life, failed, so he decided to kidnap basketball players to coerce Michael Jordan to play for him. This little dude tried to play basketball? And Michael lets him know that there's only one doctor in basketball. He's talking about Dr. J. Julius Erving, and I didn't have to look that up, by the way. There's also these train stages, 3 of them to be exact. All you're doing is going towards the end of the stage, avoiding paparazzis. These stages are hard to comment on, so just watch them and they pretty much write themselves. In the laboratory, you're avoiding electricity all over the place. There's tubes that you can take either up or down to accomplish whatever it is that you're supposed to do. Sometimes you have to throw balls at the panels in order to open certain areas. This part here is tough. You have to step on the platforms as the lighting shocks leave the platform. It's kind of tricky, but it has a pattern. Learn it. Once you get towards the very end, you have an exchange with Dr. Cranium before you fight the boss. This Frankenstein looking monster shoots lightning in all directions. You can only shoot his head. After you beat a boss, you get credit cards that you have to keep. You'll learn what their use is for later. The factory stage is another difficult one. It's hard to avoid falling into the acid. I like how when Michael falls in the acid, he just shrugs his shoulders as he goes down. Kinda like he's saying, oh well. There's an area here that I could only describe as a programmer's error. Look, so I just hopped over the acid bath to get to this locked area here. I open the lock. It's a bonus stage, so I go through. I finish up the bonus stage, and once I head out, how the heck do I get back to where I was? The acid bath is too long for Michael to jump over to. I just can't jump over no matter how hard I tried. Nothing left for me to do but to reset the game and start over. The third boss is this thing here. I don't know how to describe it. Either way, it's pretty easy to beat. Here, the tunnel is just one stage. This is where all the credit cards you acquired are going to come in handy. You rescue some more of your teammates, then you become aware of Dr. Cranium's Plan B, whatever that is. It's a pretty short stage. The very last stage is a horrifyingly difficult area. Riverview is an amusement park of ungodly proportions. The developers went full sadist. It's so tedious, it's nerve-wracking. You have to collect 4 gold keys, and they appear in different locations. So I find the first key here, go through the door with a gold lock. I'm in this haunted house having to find my way out. Then once I find the way out and exit the door, I have to go out and find another gold key and repeat the process. Not once, but 4 different times. Imagine if you're playing a game where you have to complete a stage, then start it again with all the items being in different locations. That's what it is right here. So I just can't seem to pass it. I can't do it. I keep dying before I get the rest of the keys. I just can't finish the game. So what do? End the review here? Might as well. I mean, sorry guys, I tried as hard as I could, but I just can't beat Dr. Cranium. So, here's Sledge of God, signing off. No, I can't do that to you guys. You're tuning in to see a good review, and come heck or high water, I'm giving you guys a good review. I'm not gonna give up. This stage is utter hell, but you know what? I'm going to persevere. I'm going to persevere for you guys. Come on. Dr. Cranium hasn't heard the last of me. Okay, I made it all the way to the end here. Now it's just me and Dr. Cranium one-on-one. I did it! I beat it! I don't even care that they didn't even provide a proper ending. I beat Dr. Cranium, and that's all that matters. So there. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I just beat Dr. Cranium for you guys, so don't be ungrateful. That's all for today. See you guys next time. Once again, this is Sledge of God signing off.